tomatoes to their new bed today. I've been out trying to figure out where I'm going to put the tomatoes. My original thought didn't work. Not that I mismeasured, I just didn't measure. I guessed, and my guess was wrong. But actually that turned out to be okay because they would not have been in the right orientation had I done what I had originally planned. And what I mean by that is, woo, runaway tomatoes. When you're doing your taller plants like tomatoes, corn, gosh, I just completely blanked. Anything that's tall in your garden, especially if you're trellising it, you want it to have an east-west orientation. The way that the sun moves during the day will keep a more even light pattern, for lack of a better way of putting it, than if you were to do north-south. Because if you do north-south, then one side of your trellis or your tall plants is not getting sun till the afternoon, and the other side is not getting sun, it's only getting sun in the morning, and you don't want that. You want them to have even sun exposure, there's the word I was looking for, throughout the course of the day. So, this is so fun. So this is east, north, and west. And my original thinking was that I was gonna do my beds this way. I don't know if I can, this way. But my trellises were too long that I had planned on using. They would have gone clear over my path and into this garden. So then I had the thought, well, I could do 8-foot cattle panels and that would be perfect, going from here to here to here to here to here. And honestly, I probably would have gotten more in, I'm not entirely sure. But then it came to mind, oh man, that's a northwest orientation. That's not going to be the best for these tall plants. So what I ended up doing was I'm putting in 2 16-foot panels starting from, well, I have this pathway here. I've got my acorn squash over here, and I'm actually going to put a cattle panel here for them to kind of trellis on, and then I'll put another small squash plant on this side, and then cross over here, and I'll have my tomato trellises going this way, 16 foot, and then I will add on another 8-foot panel from here to the fence. So the unfortunate part is I won't be able to access the plants here. I'll have to go down and around, but I mean, if that's the worst case about it, that's okay. I can use the exercise. So anyway, it took me a while this morning to figure out how to orient all of this. And I will say, covering this up with the black tarp and straw, there's practically no weeds here at all. There's some roots in there that I've pulled out, but for the most part, this is really nice, clean soil where everything else has just been inundated with weeds. Interestingly enough, over here where I had the white tarp, which I've taken out, all the weeds are still under there. Now, granted, there wasn't as much straw laid down on top, so I'm not sure if it was the white tarp acting as like an activator, like a sun activator, or if the straw that was down from the chicken run actually helped to kill out the weeds. So that was sort of interesting to note. I have way more weeds under here, and I'm gonna maybe try to kill some of those out in the next couple of days. But regardless, I have the tomato situation figured out. The soil is nice and crumbly, and so I'm gonna start spacing out these plants, and then eventually we'll put my cattle panel trellis in here 2 feet off the ground so that I have a 6-foot trellis for them to grow up on. That's what I've done the last 2 years. It's worked out really well, and I will continue to do that at this point. And there it is. I'm not done, but I have 42 tomato plants in the ground. 42! And guess what? I still have all of these. I have my berries, crazy cherry, my Amish, my Eaglehearts, Genovese. What are these? More berries. Yeah, I still have quite a few to go. My Napas, all my tomatillas. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna need that space over there. But right now I have 42 in the ground, and tomorrow my goal will be to get the rest of those in the ground. And then I have a big old load of peppers that I think I've decided, since I've had to use all this space for tomatoes, I'm gonna put the peppers on that fence line and that fence line. I think that's my only option right now. So that should be enough. I'll be curious to see how many I can get here and if I'll even need this other side, but there they are. And I still have eggplants and herbs that I'm gonna plant in here as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this all turns out. Right, bud? Isn't that right? Yes, he's so happy. The other amazing thing we got done today are the trellises. I don't know if you can see them, but we put in 2 right here between, well, over the walkway between the 2 gardens. It's exactly what I wanted, and it looks awesome. And we plan on putting up 2 more that beans and peas and eventually smaller squash will grow on. So I'm so excited that it fit. I had my doubts that it was going to be too far apart to do it, but they're perfect. I like them even better than my last garden. So hurrah for that. Thanks to my children who helped me to do it.